But the minority in parliament is accusing government of employing propaganda tactics in the recent increment of the producer price of cocoa. Government claims the new producer price represents 62.7% increment and about 75% of the net free on board FOB price. But the minority says this is not enough.
It's announced, and in the new price and a new bonus of 5 Ghana cedis per bag, there's no mention of payment of the outstandings which belong to the farmers. Where is that money? When is he going to pay the cocoa farmers the outstanding bonuses of the last 3 years to which they are due?
So what at all does the minority want, and how is government reacting to this? My name is Stephen NT, and this is today's big story. The MPP minority in parliament is unhappy at what it calls an economic correction, as they claim it will appear the producer price of cocoa has gone up, but in reality there is no difference in price change. At the opening of the 2014-2015 cocoa season on October 3rd, government announced an increase of the producer price from 3,392 cedis per ton to 5,520 cedis, while government claims this represents about 75% of the net free on board price and a 62.7% rise. The minority thinks otherwise.
In the Ashanti region last May 2014, no mention is made of payment of the outstanding bonuses in the 2nd October 2014 statement made by the Minister of Finance. In other words, for 3 years, farmers' bonuses were held back. For 3 years, the farmers were denied their rightful bonuses. The president comes out last May to say that they are going to be paid. A new price is announced, and in the new price and a new bonus of 5 Ghana cedis per bag, there's no mention of payment of the outstandings which belong to the farmers. Where is that money? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the question we are asking the government. When is he going to pay the cocoa farmers the outstanding bonuses of the last 3 years to which they are due? Contrary to the propaganda, the new producer price of 345 is only slightly above the prevailing price in our neighboring countries, where the market price is now equivalent to 337 Ghana cedis per bag of 64. A difference of only 2.4%. That's 8 Ghana cedis difference. Any appreciation of the cedi in the course of the coming year will quickly wipe out this slight price advantage. And yet government is hooting on top of the buildings, on top of churches everywhere, that, oh, we are paying the highest price in West Africa. It's not even West Africa. We are talking about Cote d'Ivoire. These figures, the 337 I'm talking about, is the price that Cote d'Ivoire farmers are now getting. And there's a difference of only 2.4% between the new price and Cote d'Ivoire. The recent policy introduced by government to supply fertilizers and other farm chemicals free of charge to cocoa farmers is only a propaganda ploy to deceive the good people of this country. The reality on the ground is that not much of the chemical inputs is reaching the farmers. And for the little that reaches them, the farmers are made to make some payments for the inputs. And we heard this over and over again when we went to this Serioso. In essence, these farm chemicals are not free. Besides, the plain truth is that there's a lot of discrimination based on political color of the farmers before they could have the fertilizers. The extensive report of smuggling of fertilizers across our borders and the emergence of a huge black market in fertilizer and other chemicals in this country belie the seriousness of this free package.
Now, the minority also claims that government has refused to increase cocoa prices for the past 3 years and should be paying the cocoa farmers bonuses 3 years in arrears. Right, so what exactly does the minority want? We have Dr. Owusu Efriye-Ekoto joining us on the line. Good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us on today's big story.
Good evening.
Now, what exactly do you want, really?
First of all, we want the government to pay the bonuses 3 years, which has been outstanding, which President Mahama promised in May in a country.
But Doc, which bonuses are you talking about, really? We can't get it.
We're talking about production bonuses. The bonuses that they claim now, they increase from 2 cedis per bag to 5 cedis per bag, for which they are going to make their advance payment for the rest of this coming season. You know, they used to hold it back in arrears and then pay at the end of the year. Okay? Now, for the 3 years, the farmers were not paid. And the farmers have been agitating for payment and until May, that President Mahama himself, etc., in Central region, promised the farmers that they're going to make that payment.
But is this a standard practice? I mean, when your party was in government, is that what you did? That you increased the producer price of cocoa and then you paid 3 years arrears?
No. What I'm saying is that we are talking about the current situation.
Okay.
The first 2011, 2012, 2012, 2013, 2013, 2014. These 3 years is on record, and nobody can deny it. The president himself has accepted that he promised to pay. And what I'm saying is that in the announcing this new price, they come up with that they have increased the bonus from 2 Ghana cedis per bag to 5 Ghana cedis per bag. The only difference is that this 5 cedis will be paid at the time of paying for the bag that the farmers run to the licensed buying company. That's the only difference. But there is an outstanding amount to pay. That one nobody can deny. But the president himself has admitted to that.
But there are those who will say that your position sounds a bit too selfish in a sense that you are a cocoa farmer, although you represent the minority. This is actually your interest, not the broader interest of cocoa farmers. Because some cocoa farmers have visited the president to say, thank you, we are grateful for the increment.
But you are talking about 800,000 cocoa farmers who have no elected representatives. Please, don't let's trivialize this thing by saying that, yes, of course, I'm a cocoa farmer. But the issues at stake are bigger than one's little minor interest. We're talking about a crop which was able to attain a peak of 1 million metric tons, by which time now, 3-4 years down the line, we should be producing 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 million. And what do we find? We are doing only 800 plus. Okay? So we are retrogressing. And one of the causes of the retrogression is the disincentives with this wrong pricing policy. And let's face the issue, please. Don't personalize and trivialize the issue. These are very, very serious issues confronting the economy of Ghana. And it's one of the reasons why we've gone to a nosedive. You know, so that is the position that
Right, Dr. Efriye Osei-Ekoto. We will hold you briefly and we'll get onto the other line. And Kweku Efriye is the former health minister. He's also a cocoa farmer. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Greet my brother Efriye Ekoto for me.
Yeah, I'm not expecting that your views will be any different from his, seeing that you all come from the same angle. But I mean, you are from a different area. You farm in a different area. So I will hope that your views will varying, will vary slightly from his position. Now, you also agree.
Don't bet on it. Look, please,
right.
Don't predict me.
Okay.
I can take on my own party, please.
That's
That's
right.
very presumptuous of you. You have to apologize.
Okay, I apologize. Now, let's just hear what you have to say in the first place. I mean, cocoa producer prices were increased. Government says the increase reflects about 62.7% and 75% of the net free on board price. But you disagree.
I disagree. You see, they have cooked their own figures. Today, I was looking at La Côte d'Ivoire. Their figures are like 60-something% of the FOB price. Ghana is only marginally higher than Côte d'Ivoire, so it can't even be 70%. So, look, this government is self-serving. They cook their own figures. They have no shame. Even with regard to World Bank, they cook their own figures. The so-called net FOB price, who was there? Who was the neutral body? You see, and net FOB, they subtract things like cocoa rose budget, what do you call it, farmers, scholarship to farmers, wars and dependents and so forth, and mass spraying and so on and so forth. Come here. I'm speaking from Asankregwa on my way to Sevi also. As we speak now, our worst case scenario is unfolding because the black pot disease is devastating our farms. So please, this NDC government, they are self-serving. What that figure they have announced, they could have offered it a lot better. Because remember that Ghana, we are the leaders in the cocoa industry. I heard my brother Free Akuto, and that is where we have Congress. Because look, Ghana is farming almost the same land surface for cocoa as Côte d'Ivoire. We have the same labor, about 800,000 families. And our dependents together, we are about 4 million. The same thing, almost identical figures with, Côte d'Ivoire. And yet they are doing about 2 times. This year, Côte d'Ivoire have produced 1.754 million metric tons. Exact figures I'm giving you. My source is Bloomberg, or is it Reuters? But between the two sources, you can get them. But we are doing, look, we haven't declared the exact figures, but it's certainly going to be less than 900,000. President Kufuor sent us to a very high pedestal. When these people inherited, or they had a government, 1 year into their governance, we had over 1 million metric tons. Look, you cannot grow cocoa and 1 year and harvest it. Obviously, it was the measures and policies that President Kufuor put in place that put us in that place. So and now they are trumpeting that they've sent cocoa farmers, they've done so, and they haven't done nothing.
Okay.
Like
Now, so Mr. Free, I beg your pardon to ask you that I do know that as a cocoa farmer, you have a net expectation of how much you will earn at each cocoa season. And so, for example, if you produce 10 bags of cocoa for each season, you expect to get value for money for how much you produce. Are you not confident that the measures that have been put in place, including the mass spraying that government announced in its press release, will also help improve the lives of cocoa farmers a little bit? You are only looking at the producer price?
Well, how do you mean? I don't understand your question. Please
right.
But because the question is premised on the wrong basis.
Right, Mr. Free, I'll have you hold so that I'll go back. I'll go back to Dr. Free Osei Akuto, who quite understands what I'm saying. So, Dr. Akuto, you are on now, right? You feel that my question is premised on a wrong footing?
Yeah, of course, because this whole business about mass spraying and high tech were introduced by President Kufuor in 2001. Okay. That whole program has been scaled down substantially by this regime when they came into power.
Okay.
Now, almost non-existent. Almost not. It's only in name. You go and ask at the cocoa board the amount of fertilizers and the spraying material that they use for the mass spraying, and compare it to 5, 7, 8 years ago. You will see that they are applying far, far less. So they've scaled it down substantially. And this is why Dr. Asare is saying the incidence of swollen shoot and others are rising, because there isn't enough chemical spraying to control these diseases. And if it continues like this, we are going to see a production collapse to 500,000, I tell you, in the next 4 or 5 years, if they continue like this. It's free These free chemicals and fertilizers they are talking about is a hoax. How many farmers get free fertilizers?
But Dr. Freya Koto, I mean, the point is that these you said that were introduced under the Kufuor era and had been scaled down. Now, scaled down, but they've been reintroduced. I mean, in announcing the producer price increase, government has announced that they will go ahead and do the mass spraying as well. So that should help.
That's rhetoric. I'm saying that go and look at the figures. Look, they have the figures. Go and look at the figures in terms of the tonnages of chemicals which have been sprayed, the amount of fertilizers which have been used.
Rhetoric means that
they've been scaled down substantially.
Right. So rhetoric, you mean that rhetoric means that the spraying is not taking place, or they have announced, but it's not taking place.
It is not. I'm saying that the amount of chemicals that were used for these programs 10 years ago, 7 years ago, is only half of what they are doing. That is what they are doing now.
Right.
What they are applying now for these programs is only half. If they were doing 10 tons for the mass spraying, now it's about 3 tons. And they have the actual figures. So you, as a journalist, you go to Cocoa Board and ask for these figures, and you see exactly what I'm talking about. It's all rhetoric. If they want to reintroduce the mass spraying and the high tech, the way the Kufuor vision it and administered it, then they should come clean and say that they have done wrong and now they want to correct it.
Right,
Doctor. To every year use your, just by rhetoric, say, oh, we are going to do this, and nothing happens.
Right, Dr. Freya Koto, I'll hold you briefly. I heard that Dr. Kweku Efriye wanted to say something about it briefly. So
yes,
let's say.
Look, this so-called mass spraying program has become so dysfunctional that I can report to you confidently that only yesterday, some farmers I saw with my naked eye, they were distributing Confidor, and 4 people were sharing one bottle of Confidor. And by the way, now what I'm saying is that it becomes so dysfunctional that these inputs come late. Right now, it is not Akate or Ati which is important. What we need now, and they should do a rush job, otherwise we'll lose about 10% of our crop. It's black pod disease, especially in the western region. And look, I want some to buy on the parallel market. I can't get, because these are all program inputs. And if you buy it even from another source, it means you have bought, some product which somebody has smuggled or something. So please, tell the government that they should do a rush job. I have a farm at a place called Churi on the banks of the Afamisui River. Every cocoa pod that is matured now has been devastated because I cannot get Nordox, I cannot get whatever.
Right, Dr. Freya, we're grateful for your time. Unfortunately, we need to hang you up and then get a government representative to get onto the telephone line to respond to some of the issues. So
don't hang me up, but let me listen to him, what he's saying. So maybe on another occasion I can.
Right.
I can.
Right, so Dr. Freya Koto, I beg your pardon, if you can hear, if you can hear me.
Can handle them well.
Right. So
please, I want to hear what they're saying, because look, they give you some figures which are wrong. Please.
Right. This is today's big story. So, Mr. Kweku, if you are there, I know that we may have lost Dr. Owusu Efriye Koto on the other telephone, and we will be getting onto the line to speak to some representatives. We're trying to reach the Cocoa Board's Noah Amenya, who we're not reaching, and then we have been unable to reach the finance ministry representatives, who are all we're told are in Washington right now. So we're still working the telephones to bring onto the line. I'm told that we still have Kweku Owusu Efriye. You're still there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Kweku. Sorry, the names keep mixing me up. So
yes,
now the issue of mass spraying, I'm very concerned about this situation, because my mother herself is a cocoa farmer, so I really know what goes into cocoa farming, etc., and the problems that they go through. We also understand that one of the key issues that you face is the problem which President Mahama raised, that some people adjust the scales to such an extent that it goes against the farmers who bring the beans for sale. Is this a problem where you are, Seshirioso area?
Well, it's a problem. It's an internal problem. But me, I don't see it as a big problem. Our big issue
is it because you produce on a larger scale?
Oh yes. So, but you see, these farmers, some of them, look. Let me tell you that we know that they adjust the scale as in their local terminology, but sometimes we even willingly go with it because we know that if they adjust it 1 or 2 kilos, that's fine. That's for the local PC. We don't, because they help us a lot. You see, sometimes they advance as loans when government or no credit facilities give us this. So yes, it's a local problem. I do not condone it, but it's not a big problem. Plus, we have the option of choosing another LPC if we see that you are being too greedy and short-changing it. So it's an issue that people talk about, but it's sociology. We laugh. We farmers, we meet, say, look, this guy is being too smart, but then, look, 2 kilos, let him take it. That's it. That's our reaction.
Okay, so that's pretty something that you can manage.
Yes.
Now, there are those who say that the minority called for an increase in the producer price. It has been granted by the president, and other things that were held back, like the mask spraying, has been introduced. You're still now coming back to ask for more, including asking that bonuses are paid 3 years in arrears. Are you not asking for too much, especially in a period where everybody knows the challenges that the economy is facing? Are we not biting too much than we can chew?
No, absolutely not. You see, for example, it's not like government has brought in some extraneous funds to cushion cocoa farming. It is our own money. But unfortunately, government has got the powers that be. So, like I was saying before, they have arrogated to themselves the power to set up the FOB price, the CD to dollar ratio. I'm no economist. I don't believe what they are telling us.
Right.
I know that 6 months down the line, there's something will happen that the CD will depreciate. It's not my wish, but look, intuitively, I feel like that's what is going to happen. That notwithstanding, even what they've given us is not enough, because I've told you that it's like they were playing catch up with La Côte d'Ivoire,
right?
And we have no business doing that.
Right.
As for the mass spraying and what that they have introduced or reintroduced, I do not get it, because I'm telling you that nothing is happening on the ground here in Sevi and Wasa,
right,
where I farm, because there's no mass spraying.
Right, Dr. Free, I'll hold you briefly. I've been joined on the other telephone line by Gabriel Esilfi, who is MP for Shama. He's also a member of the Food, Agric and Cocoa Committee of Parliament. Good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us. Good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us on today's Big Story.
Yeah, good evening.
Now, I know that as a member of the majority, you would quickly say that the minority's position is out of place. I'm not sure that will be your point, but the minority is saying that a lot of the issues that have been raised in government's announcement, for example, announcing the mass spraying of cocoa, including the increase of the producer price by 62.7%, and also the minority is saying that you have arrogated onto yourself the power to set the field on board price of cocoa and pitch it at 75%, which they're not very sure of. I mean, all of these is happening against the backdrop of the fact that government is trying to improve the livelihood of cocoa farmers. What do you see? How do you see the position of the minority on this?
Well, first of all, thank you very much, and let me say hello to your cherished viewers and listeners. In the first place, I have not really listened to the minority press conference.
Okay.
So I don't really know the various points that they raised.
But I summed them up to you a while ago.
Yeah, but what you just stated in terms of the mass cocoa spraying and whatnot, as far as we are concerned, as the Food and Agri Committee of Parliament, I do know that the Cocoa Board came to brief us. And the briefing that they gave us did indicate the fact that the mass spraying has been started, is going on, and the fertilizer distribution is also going on.
Well, Dr. Kwekwe says nothing is going on where he is.
If nothing is going on, he's saying that. I don't know that. I don't have any basis to say
Look,
it's not going
against
on.
black pot disease, they're supposed to spray about 4 or 6 times.
Dr. Free,
Nothing,
Dr.
not
Free,
even zero.
Dr. Free, I beg your
Okay,
pardon.
sorry.
I will have to give him
Sorry
a
for
chance
that.
to make his
No,
point
sorry.
so that I'll bring
Yes,
you in for a
What
reaction.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
What I'm basically saying is that is the briefing that we got as a committee of Parliament. If indeed he, as a ranking member, seems to have any indication that indeed what we were told is not going on, then it's a matter of we, the committee, looking into it and maybe making some field visits. If indeed this is the findings that he claims he has, then we go and find it, and as a committee, we take it on board and summon Cocoa Board and find out why they say the mass spraying is going on, but based on areas that we check, that is not going on. He's saying that I don't know that.
Right.
I'm going by what they have told us.
Dr. Freya, quickly, I'll give you a chance to quickly react.
Quickly, what
Sufi,
I'm saying is that facts do not lie. I have got 15 farmsteads dotted between Amenfi West, and I'm coming from one of the farms through to BI East. None of my farms have seen this mass spraying guns this year. Nothing. Absolutely zero. Only, that was why I was saying, only yesterday that about 6 people, they were giving one keg, or if like one bottle of confidor to share against Akati. Now Akati is not an issue. As we speak now, the cocoa is rotting from what do they call it? Black pot disease. The rapid one is spoiling it. So me, I don't have anything. These fine things about reporting to what was fact finding, please. They should save this crop because maybe potentially 20% can be wiped out.
Right,
Black
Dr. Free, we're grateful for your time on today's big story. I know we don't have a lot of time to exhaust this. And Gabriel Asifu, you're still there. I'll give you the final word. Now, how come that both yourself and Dr. Free belong to the same committee of Parliament, but it looks like you have different facts?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening, sir.
As far as I'm concerned, as the chairman of the Finance Committee of Parliament, nothing has come to my attention to believe otherwise. If my ranking member, who's a leader with me of the committee, seems to have any facts in that sense, I don't think the first point of call is the media. He should bring it to the committee level for me as the chairman, bring to my notice, and then I will summon all of my members to go on district to find the facts.
Right.
And engage Cocoa Board. But what he's saying, he knows, I don't know. So
right,
if he brought it, then we would take it on and do it.
Right,
Committee of Parliament works, by process. We don't get up every time when we find something, then we go on and talk about it. When the committee itself, the chairman, whatever, it hasn't been brought to his attention for the facts to be brought to bear.
Right,
so for me, it's just a political, the way we have a political can make and cheap politics. And I don't want to go there.
You think that this is only political? Thank you very much, Gabriel Asifu, MP for Shama. We're also grateful for Dr. Owusu-Efriye Oseakutu and Dr. Kweku Efriye. Their names mix me up a lot, for joining us on today's big story. And thanks to you for making time to watch us. We'll be right back with an interactive segment. Stay with us.